Hi guys, what's going on? Adam McCullough here, Adam McCullough TV, back for another match preview, and today we are talking Wolves versus Manchester United, the place where Manchester United lost twice last season. We failed to beat them in 3 games, having drawn with them at Old Trafford as well, and we go there looking to keep up our winning start to the Premier League campaign after that 4-0 victory over Chelsea at Old Trafford. We're still buzzing, we're still flying high after that victory, but it's vital, it's important, it's crucial we keep it going and get another 3 points here just to build some momentum going into this new season. It's a massive season for Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, all the players, and to just keep it going, keep that positive momentum with a huge result would be important. We're talking all things Wolves against Manchester United today here on Adam McCullough TV. I'm going to give you my predicted 11, my predicted score. We're going to have a few topics to go through. There's loads to talk about. And today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been discussing the future of Alexis Sanchez. Now, Alexis Sanchez is a player that is... I forget that he's at Manchester United, to be honest. I forget that he's at Manchester United an awful lot. I sit around and I think, who wears the number 7? Oh shit, it's Alexis Sanchez. And that's a massive disappointment, because when he arrived, I was watching the video the other day that we made at Full-Time Devils when he arrived. And when he arrived, we were so excited, we were so happy, we were buzzing with the signing. Like many signings that have happened post-Fergie. And then they've just flattered to deceive. And Alexis Sanchez has been awful for Manchester United this season. Since he's arrived. And we need him to turn it around this season. We need him to turn it around this season. Not only because he's one of 4 options we have in the striking positions with Martial, Rashford and Mason Greenwood, but because we're paying him an awful lot of fucking money. He comes with high expectations, and it's not even expectations of goals or assists. I just want a performance out of you. We've seen him perform about once or twice for Manchester United. We need to see it more often than not. We need to see it regularly, consistency. Now, I do think the way Ole Solskjaer is trying to play football, the way we're trying to attack, the way we're trying to press, the way we're trying to have this high intensity, I do think that will play into Alexis Sanchez's favour, because he'll have a chance to play football that suits him. He's not going to be pushed out wide, I don't think. Or even if he is, he's going to have an interchangeable system that is suited to the way he plays. But he needs to perform, and I've just got a feeling that he's finished. He's broke. He's done out here. He's obviously not broke financially because he's on a lot of money at United, but I just feel like he is absolutely done out here, and he's not going to be the Sanchez that we bought. Another one that Ollie's confident in having a big season this season as well is Fred, a midfielder. Obviously, we have a massive spaces in our midfield with Pogba, with McTominay, with Pereira, with Matic, with Fred. There's not much depth there. There's not much depth at all. If Fred can become the player we signed, it's much like Alexis Sanchez. We're complaining about, a lack of depth in certain positions. We let go Herrera, we let go Lukaku. But if Sanchez and Fred become the players we expected them to be when we bought them, then we've actually got the replacements within the team. The problem is the expectation levels of those players is on the floor. And maybe that's why they can turn it around. But I've more confidence for Fred than I do for Alexis Sanchez. We've just started Super Red Fan, so you've not missed much. We've been speaking about, obviously, Alexis Sanchez. Ole seems to be confident he's going to contribute this season. He's going to play a lot, he's going to score goals, he's going to make goals. I'm a little less confident about that one. But what do you guys think? Let us know. Adam says Matic is done. Is too slow, says Adam Kausa, which is an interesting comment to make. I agree. I think Matic is finished. But we have to include him in our midfield options because we're going to have to rely on him at some point. And I read something in the Manchester Evening News. Now, I know the reliability of them isn't great at the moment, but it said that Ollie's trying to blood out the Matic's, Smallings, Youngs. Matic and Young could leave on a free at the end of the season. Smalling could be sold. And when you think about that, as ruthless as it sounds, that's what we want to see. We want to see those players moved on. We want to see better players moving in. younger players taking their positions. A great point Steve made on the Full-Time Devils podcast was as well, when we're looking to replace players, we should look to replace from within if possible, if the talent is there. Not just anybody, but obviously if the talent's there. I agreed with that as well. What do I think of the new kit? Says Backlash 486, the black one. Is it like a rose kind of pattern in there? It's a pretty nice kit. I do like it. Matic is too slow for our game plan, says Renato. MEN is reliable as the sun. Love the debate between you and Gary Neville, says Adam. Cheers, mate. I enjoyed that. Look, I've been taking a little bit of stick for interrupting Gary Neville. Now, firstly, he interrupted me as much. Secondly, it's because he wasn't kind of answering the question, and I was trying to get an answer to the question. Thirdly, him and Carragher are always at it, and I wasn't disrespecting a Manchester United legend. I was just speaking how I would speak with any other United fan, having a debate, a friendly debate. None of it was disrespectful. None of it was heated. None of it was over the top. So relax a little bit, yeah. We both love Manchester United. We both wanted to have a chat about it. There was no hard feelings. I shook his hand after. Got him to sign my dad's shirt, which is right here. Genev's signature right there. So, relax everybody. Relax. I think Fred and Sanchez must be given a run of games in this new system. They might come out good, says MD Luffy. Rossitron says, just watched your debate with Gary Neville. Well done, was great. Liked Gary's answers too. I do agree with a lot of what Gary said, to be honest. What formation should we play, says Dylan. I think we're going to go with a 4-2-3-1 in this game. I think we will probably see Fred come into the midfield in place of Pereira possibly. Now, I don't think Pereira played badly against Chelsea, but what he did was he popped up all over the pitch. He was kind of out wide, he was kind of in the hole, he was all over the place. I think against Wolves, we need to be stronger through the middle. Now, you look at Wolves and you think they've had Europa League, they've had this, they've had that. They might not be quite at it. But they've been resting players. They made 9 changes from the team that drew against Leicester City last week. And they'll be fresh and ready to go. The likes of Neves, Jimenez, they weren't played. So they're ready for this game. They'll have enough rest anyway. It's a Thursday, Monday. And it's going to be a very, very difficult game. I'd go with a 4-2-3-1. That way you get to add Fred and McTominay in there in the midfield. And Pogba can go a little bit more with those up front. I think in the first 30 minutes against Chelsea, the midfield didn't quite work as well as we would have hoped. McTominay and Pogba. Pogba was obviously going, but then when we'd lose the ball, we'd look a little bit open towards the back. Allowing, Pogba to be able to do those things, try and make things happen, try and, dink balls over the top and try his little flicks and stuff. You can do that in the final third if you've got a little bit more protection behind you. And I think we need to try and retain possession a little bit more in this game. And keep the ball away from Wolves. Try and get them to come out at us. Because actually, Wolves will probably have most possession. So it will probably be a counter-attack in a game from United. Allowing them to come out, soaking it up. Boom, hitting them on the counter-attack with our pace. It's going to be an interesting game. That's why the Premier League's so good. Even the teams like Wolves can give you a massive, massive challenge. Adam, is that you for me, you legend? Cheers, mate. Keep up the good work. I will do, Rasmus. Do I hear messages from France? What's that mean, Glenn? I don't know what that means. Zana, thank you for your comment. Sharat says, who scored more goals this season, Martial or Rashford? Says Sharat. Now, I've had this question before. I think Martial is more clinical in terms of being a finisher. And Rashford's better in terms of his movement and creating opportunities for himself. I do think Martial showed more intensity in terms of his running, which is good. And I think if he continues to do that, that'll help him get more goals. But it's going to be an interesting battle between them. As long as they get 50 goals between them, plus in all competitions, I'm happy. Throw Delo in, use Wan-Bissaka as a third centre-half, says Zana. Wolves like to counter-attack too, says Spartan. I'll give you my score prediction later. Still can't believe the Chelsea game. Class, says Benno. Noah's in the comments as well, just spamming the number one. Cheers, Noah. Why are people hating on Pogba so much, says Adele. Should we sign anyone in January, says Manny. Let's wait and see when we get to January. We're still a few months away from them. We might be in a position where we have to invest. We might be in a position where we think, these youngsters have come through quite well. Maybe let's not invest, you know what I mean? And a great sign from the weekend. Someone just asked, do I think Daniel James will start? I don't think he'll start, although I wouldn't be surprised. But what was great about the game against Chelsea, of course it's too early at the moment to get excited, get carried away. But in terms of the Chelsea game, Harry Maguire was fantastic. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, fantastic. Daniel James comes off the bench, scores a goal. Our 3 new signings that we made, and I was happy with the business we did do. Our 3 new signings would have settled in straight away. They'll feel at home. And we can't get carried away. Keep our feet on the ground. But that's great for them. If you come in, you have a stinker, or Daniel James misses a sitter, or Maguire or Wan-Bissaka make a mistake, you're coming in and you're under a little bit pressure from the off. They've taken that immediate pressure off them. Of course, at Man United, pressure's always round the corner. There's always a headline. There's always something coming. But it's just great to get that under your belts. James and Gomez hope to start, says Jack. Thoughts on Ollie's presser, says Patrick. Now we'll look at some of the quotes from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference a little bit earlier today. This is what he said on Alexis Sanchez. He's part of our squad and is a very good player. He's just had a couple of weeks training, 3 weeks now, so he's a few weeks behind the rest. But he's very close to being a part of the squad. We've had a good week, good training week, competitive week, so hopefully we can have the same squad and people available unless something changes towards the end. There are still a few good days to play. So that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on obviously training this week and stuff. I'll try and grab a few more quotes from the press conference for you guys as well. But yeah, keep your questions, keep your thoughts coming in ahead of that game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Will Manchester United get the victory? 2 games at the Molineux, 1 in the Cup and 1 in the league last season. We lost both those games. We need to be performing. We need to get a result in this one. Solskjaer says Wolves will give us a hard challenge just as much as a mental test. We're in a good place at the moment, and when you hit the first hurdle and obstacle, you want to see the leaders. Anyone can play well when you're winning 3 or 4-0. Defenders, level-headed and not emotionally affected, are great for a manager and a team. He's been very good. Talking about Maguire. We believe Fred is going to have a big season, says Solskjaer. He also commented, Chelsea outran us quite a lot in April. Now we've outrun them. So that's a good shift for us. But it's not just about fitness. Fitness is important, but a young team expect loads of energy. But we also have quality. Important you have quality. Pointless just running around like headless chickens, isn't it, guys? Michael says, am I going to the game? I will be at the game, and I'll be doing full-time Devils fan cams as well. So if you're at the game, come and see us there. Do you think Luke is of the standard to be Manchester United left back for the seasons to come? Says Leon. Potentially, I think he still has it all to prove. I mean, when you look at someone like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it kind of makes Luke Shaw look a little bit worse. I'm not going to be harsh on him and say he's awful. I don't think he's awful, but I do think he's probably the weakest link in that back four. Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka. He needs to improve, especially in the final third. He's been very good though, been better in the last 12 months. But we still need that gradual improvement. He's still not the Luke Shaw that we signed. Do you know what I mean? He's showing signs of getting there. I just feel he needs to take more chance in the final third. He always plays a safe option, always looks to cut it back. Gets to the last bit, cuts it back. And sometimes you just need a little bit of drive, a little bit of fire in your belly. Just get back past the defender, cut it back, or mix it up a little bit. I'm putting Noah in timeout because he's absolutely ruining the comments right now. Give the team time, says Minnie. Worried about Sanchez affecting Greenwood's development, says Patrick. I'm not, no, because we haven't got a whole load of strikers. Maybe if Lukaku was still here, you'd think, 5 strikers, it's going to be difficult for Greenwood to get a chance. But with just Martial and Rashford, and the thing is with Martial and Rashford, it's not like one plays and the other doesn't. They both play. So with Martial and Rashford, one of them starts through the middle, one of them starts out wide. Who's our strikers on the bench, or who's our striker on the bench? Greenwood. He should be ahead of Sanchez in the pecking order. Sanchez has to show it all to work for now. Obviously, because he's on big wages and stuff, he's going to get a game time, and we're going to have to try and get something out of him. But Greenwood should be ahead of him in the pecking order. Leon says Truce, haven't seen a daring crossing from him from the left in ages. Luke's stuck in Van all time, says Minnie. Should Ali give a chance to Gomez, says Aaron, or chances? I think he will do, mate. I think that we have to at the right time, though. I think Angel Gomez is someone that needs to be implemented while we're playing well. Because the kind of things that he's going to try and do, it's not going to look great when you're 2-0 down away from home, struggling in a match, you can't maintain possession, and you bring in Angel Gomez on. He might do something, but it's difficult for him. When you keep it, like a game against Chelsea, that was perfect, you bring him on there. I think Mason's more of a player that's explosive, more likely to make an impact on a game when it's level. But Angel's quality as well. Delo should get a chance, says Smaron. I agree with you too. Delo should get a chance. Do you see McTominay as similar to Fletcher? Good team player, but not a world beater. In that aspect, yes, Daniel. Is it because he's Scottish and he's come through the academy that people say Fletcher? I don't know. But, yeah, I'm not as gutted to see McTominay starting for United anymore. I think it shows a sign of where the quality is at in our midfield, what the level is. But I'm not disappointed when he does start for Manchester United anymore. Mason is our most natural striker, says Jacob. I agree with you there. Luke Shaw needs to be covered this game. Saw what happened last time versus Wolves. And that's why I think, Harry, going with that little bit more in midfield will help us in this game. In fact, let me bring my predicted team up for you now. Here it is. This is my predicted 11. I've obviously gone with David De Gea in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Luke Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Pogba, Lingard, Rashford, Martial. That's my 11 for this match. The last time I predicted 10 out of 11 right. The only one I got wrong was Mata. Pereira came in and started for him. Pereira's my only change in this game. I wouldn't be against starting Pereira. I think up against a Wolves side that like to pass it, like to play football, Pereira could probably come into his own. But I think just getting that solidity in midfield is important. Making sure that we can allow, like we said, covering Luke Shaw, covering Wan-Bissaka when they get forward. Maybe Fred or McTominay just sitting there alongside Lindelof and Maguire. But I think that's probably the best way now. I thought Jesse played well off the ball against Chelsea. On the ball, probably not as good. Will he start this game or will Ollie look to play Mata? Interesting selection there. Or you could go with Greenwood. You could, of course, go with Greenwood. People loving the headshots. Sorry, the police are coming for me, guys. I'll try and wrap this stream up before they get in the door. You're right, Fred wins the ball. McTominay is good, not as if he is a liability to the side, says Brandon. I agree. Jonathan De Vries, thank you for jumping in the comments. Mr. Glenn Johnson says Lingard can't start on the right wing. The problem is for us, we haven't got a natural right winger. It's going to be Lingard, it's going to be Mata, it's going to be Greenwood. Who's going to play there? You could play Chung, but Chung's not going to start in this game. And I think with a formation that's fluid, Lingard can play there. Sometimes, Marcelo Rashford will pull out wide, Lingard will go through the middle. Or we could even potentially see sort of a diamond. So you'd have McTominay, Fred, Pogba, Lingard at the point of the diamond, and then Marcel and Rashford up top through the middle. You could even see it turn into that, when it's free-flowing and it's fluid. G-Nev called the police, says Sharat. Can Sanchez improve under Ali? Is he past it, says Carl. Unfortunately, I think he's past it, but who knows? We'll have to see. Yes, James. Remembering that. Lingard has the flow. He should play, says Smaron. But that's my team. I got 10 out of 11 right last time. Will I get it right? Will I get close 10 or 11? I want to get 11. I want to get 11. Busby wants to see Marshall, Mason and Marcus, which is all the M's. I want to see this back five. This back five, De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Luke Shaw. I want to see them play together for at least the first 10 games of the season. Fingers crossed, touch wood, no injuries, no none of that. but I want to see them play together for a long time. Build something. Yeah, of course, Twanzebe might come in here or there or whatever, but build something. It's vitally important we do, especially in that back line. We've not had a solid, reliable back line for a while, probably since we won the league. We need one now. So that's my team predictions for the game. Let me know your predictions for the game as well. What do you fear most from Wolves? What do you want to see from United? Is that the team you'd go with? Not sure about Fred. Don't reckon Ollie trusts him, says Daniel. Well, what was it Ollie said today about Fred? We believe Fred is going to have a big season. Is that why he didn't invest in a midfielder? Because he was so confident in Fred pulling it off and becoming good. Might help not to get married during pre-season though. That's still pissing me off, by the way. McSauce to have a good season, says SJR. I do think McTominay will have a good season. Maguire or Rio in terms of leadership, says A Moses. Huh? Maguire? What? Rio all day? Rio's the best centre half that ever played for United. As a leader, as a defender, as bringing the ball out from the back. Everything is the best. Mayo is confident that Fred will be good this year. Pogba, Rashford and Marshall need to start every Premier League game, says Rafe. And I totally agree with you as well. If one of those was to get injured, we'd be absolutely doomed. Doomed, I tell ya. And that's what I'm saying. We've got 3 strikers plus Alexis. Are we counting Alexis as a striker? If we've got Alexis, we've got 4. But the thing is, we play 2 at a time. Even though we kind of play a 1-striker system, we're playing Rashford and Marshall at the same time, all the time. So you've got 2 reserve strikers, and one of them's Alexis, and one of them's 17. How best to deal with the counter-attack from Wolves? Will we be countering, or will they be countering? I'm not sure, because they're the home team. I suppose they're going to have most possession. They're going to be expected to dominate the ball and come at Manchester United. So then it's about how we can nick it back off them. If they score first, that's a massive worry. But maybe, kind of allowing Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw a bit more freedom, allowing McTominay to just sit there will mean that we always have 3 back when we do attack. If they do, then counter-attack us. What if Alexis comes good too, says Mayo. That's the only problem with United's team this year. There's too many what-ifs, there's too many question marks, there's too many uncertainties. And that's why I'm a little bit worried. If everything goes to plan, Mason Greenwood becomes a player with his potential is, and, all this Martial and Rashford fulfill their potential and smash goals for fun, then it could be a great season. But if, like any other season, we have injuries, we have fatigue, we have lack of form, we have this, we have that, it's going to be a very hard season. But I'm not going to end this conversation on that note, because I do think Manchester United will beat Wolves at the weekend. I do think United will get a victory. I do think we'll win 2-1. The scoreline we've been on the receiving end of at the Molineux in the last couple of games, the last 2 games in fact, last season. And I do think we'll win 2-1 this time around. Get some of your score predictions in before we head off. Heron says, we're so dangerous without the ball against Chelsea. First and third goal resulted from pressing and stealing the ball instantly attack. I agree with you, mate. And that's what we did in pre-season as well. And I was hoping to see it come into the season. Us winning the ball back early in the opposition's half, getting back at them. And that's why Lingard's important to this team. We haven't got anyone else that does his job. His pressing, his running, his, you might not be the greatest on the ball, but what he brings to the team off the ball in terms of movement, in terms of pressure, in terms of intensity is vital, and it sets things off for United. He's a fire starter, because once he goes, Rashford goes, Martial goes, everyone goes. Monis thinks 2-1 Wolves. Smarin and Vassant think United will... Smarin thinks 3-0. Vassant thinks 2-0. Jutarou thinks 4-0 FC, still going to be here. Lewis thinks 2-1, the same as me. Charles thinks 5-0, 4-0 FC, 4-0 Aziz. Why does Fred get into my team? Asher says, Fred gets into my team because I think we need a bit more midfield solidity, a bit more protection to the back four, and just a bit more in midfield to play against Wolves. So then, guys, that is my prediction, my 11, my score prediction, my thoughts on the game against Wolves. Let us know yours in the comments below. Keep it locked over the weekend. Remember, the game is on Monday. I'll have the Weekly United coming this weekend. Reaction from the Molineux on Monday after the match. And then on Tuesday, we'll have the match day vlog, aftermath, and loads more content coming your way. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. But for now, I've been Adam McCullough, and I'm out of here.